This is Ninja Dasher U. I am back with another one of my ninja hopping missions. This time, I am going to Africa. My first stop will be the Djani Mosque in Mali. It is one of three mosques that's sitting there now, is one of three that have all been built around that area, and actually two are built on the same spot. That one mosque that was built off to the side, where when they built the modern mosque, where they built a school on top of the old one. This is kind of an interesting little story. But anyway, the first mosque that had been built, the one that the modern mosque is built on top of, was actually being used for a cemetery after it fell into disrepair when the second one came along. The modern one was also called a cross between a hedgehog and a church organ. My next stop will be a place called Masai Mara. It's kind of like a giant park, except, awesome. It is known for what is called the Great Wildebeest Migration, and it's one of the 7 wonders of the New World. Now, what that means? I think it means that it's pretty amazing. But still, it's also famous for having a lot of lions. I will follow the path of the wildebeest and go south with them for a while. And I also learned the ways of the zebra and how to escape crocodiles and lions and stuff like that on my way. It was rather fun. On the way, we passed through the Serengeti National Park. It is south of the Masai Mara area and is part of the Great Migration Route or whatever, as you can probably guess by me traveling with the wildebeest through there. Still, apparently they're having some troubles with poachers, as there were 40,000 critters that have been killed in that region. However, I did encounter a few trying to kill some of, my herd as I was traveling with them, and I beat off a couple poachers. They learned their lesson pretty good, so hopefully that will not quite be quite as bad. After, not very long really, but after a while I broke off from the wildebeest herd, having learned, what I believe I could have learned from them. Maybe I could have learned a little more if I'd stuck around, but still. Anyway, on my way I figured I might as well go see Mount Kilimanjaro. It is a truly amazing sight, and I have heard and tested that mountain climbers can actually reach the top with a walking stick, good clothes, and determination. It is truly fun too. There are a little bit harder ways, but ultimately you can indeed get to the top with a walking stick and some good clothes. Well, at least a ninja can get to the top without the walking stick, but It has 3 volcanic cones. That was an interesting fact that I learned, but Also, another interesting thing is nobody truly knows what Kilimanjaro means. It was truly a mystery. They determined that it means Great Mountain of Light or Great something or another of something or another's or something like that. But still, nobody truly knows what it means. Maybe ninjas named it. The Ngorongoro Crater or something like that. I'm probably mispronouncing it pretty sorrowfully, but Anyway, I learned that it is the largest unflooded and unbroken caldera in the world. It is impressive. There were animals and people still living there. However, the people that do live there exist with the animals, much as they always have in Africa, naturally. As they did back, before all the Europeans came and settled. It was kind of interesting, too, to learn that the NCA, the Ngorongoro Conservation Area people, actually would like it to remain that way. It was rather intriguing. I also learned that the NCA is also responsible for parts of Serengeti National Park, or maybe it was the whole thing. It was one of those two. But it was rather interesting. Anyway, on to my next stop. Something about waterfalls. They're always truly amazing, and, they tend to be rather wet, if you bother to go inside of them. So, after having gone to South Africa and whatnot and seen, I think it was the Niagara Falls, or, no, it was not the Niagara. Oh dear. When I was in South America, I forgot the name of this one, and when I'm here, I forget the name of that one. Anyway, it's the other big horseshoe-shaped, lots of water pouring down, huge sheets, that one. This one, though, is called the Victoria Falls. I decided that I had to go there, as I do have a little bit of a thing with waterfalls, and I learned that they had bungee diving. I simply had to try that. The waterfall was described by the local Kololo tribe as the smoke that thunders. I thought it was a rather apt name, as it was rather, thundering when I went by it. Still, it is rather alarming to go bungee diving over it. Well, I guess not quite over it, but still, it is rather alarming. But at the same time, rather exhilarating. I might have to watch for more bungee diving wherever I go. I decided to take a little bit of a break from the main continent of Africa and went to Madagascar to see the Avenue of the Baobabs or something like that. The baobabs are apparently the largest in South Africa, but this particular spot is a little more known for, being something really epic. Any which way, I also learned a rather interesting story that there are some trees nearby. I can't remember if they were baobabs, but they were big trees and stuff like that actually had twisted together. It is rather amazing. The locals believe that it was because a couple wanted to marry, but they were outside their village and their tribe and whatnot, and it would never happen. But any which way, they wanted to live forever and live together and stuff like that. So they asked their god for help, and the god made them into trees that twisted together, and then since they're trees, they will live forever, or at least a very, 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 very long time. Rather interesting story. Not so sure what I think of the whole thing about humans becoming trees. More interesting to be a ninja. And then again, maybe there's a few things I could learn about being a tree, too. Just don't know if I really want to learn much from a tree. Other than maybe disguise. My next stop was a wonderful little town called Stellenbosch or something like that. It became the center of the South African wine industry after they planted a lot of grape fields around that region. It also was once under British authority, and the British made a military base there. That was where the term to be Stellenboshed came from. It meant having not distinguished yourself on the front lines of war and thus being sent back to base. I hope Sensei Silverblade does not decide to Stellenbosch me anytime soon. My next and really final stop is all the way down at the southern tip of Africa, next to Cape Town actually. It is known as Table Mountain, and it's been known to be one of the most epic views in Africa once you're at the top. Every now and then, a cloud will condense and form a tablecloth, if you would, over the mountain. That is said to have symbolized a smoking competition between the devil and a local pirate. A rather interesting story, and proved false by the fact that I climbed up to the top, and well, I couldn't see much, but still, I didn't see anyone with a pipe and whatnot. No horns or smoke or anything like that. Just cloud. However, I couldn't see very far. I could be wrong. That will conclude my tour of Africa. I hope you have enjoyed, and well, I guess I will see you next time. I have no idea where I'm going yet. So, until next time.